Hey everyone. Next up, we have that classic 1928 Charlie Chaplin movie, The Circus. Now, walking down the midway, the tramp, Charlie Chaplin, finds a pocket watch and wallet in his pants, placed there by a pickpocket trying to avoid arrest. However, the police are close behind and they end up chasing the tramp into the circus tent. There, the audience laughs at his antics as he tries to escape, which for them is refreshing because they don't find the actual circus clowns to be that funny. So the ringmaster, Alan Garcia, decides to give him an audition the next day. Now, in the meantime, the tramp meets the ringmaster's stepdaughter, Myrna Kennedy, who is being starved by her stepfather for a poor performance as the horseback rider. And so the tramp tries to give her some food. Now, at the audition, everything goes poorly as the tramp really doesn't know how he was being funny. However, he is given a job by the head prop man when all of his other workers leave. Now, the next show, the tramp once again proves to be funny to the audiences, although unintentionally, but the ringmaster decides to keep that quiet and so that he doesn't have to pay him much. However, the tramp learns about it from Myrna and decides to fight for both himself and her when her stepfather pushes her around. Now later, she learns from a fortune teller that her love is nearby. Now the tramp, who was eavesdropping, believes it to be him, and so buys the ring from one of the other circus clowns. However, Myrna meets the new tightrope walker, Rex, Harry Crocker, and is instantly infatuated with him. Now, the tramp is less than thrilled with this, and at least partially as a result, he isn't as funny for the audiences. Now, he tries to learn how to be a tightrope walker himself, and goes on one night when Rex is unable to. He is fired afterwards when the ringmaster tries to abuse Myrna again, and the tramp steps in. Now, of course, that's the last straw for her, so she runs away, and now it's up to the tramp to help fix the situation. Now, according to Pamela Hutchinson's essay, The Circus, The Tramp in the Mirror, which was included with the recent Criterion disc releases or on Criterion's website, Charlie Chaplin seems to have gotten the idea for the movie from at least two sources. One was the result of a visit back in the late 1910s to a circus, naturally, which left him pondering the lives of the performers as well as a desire to make a circus movie. Even more so, though, while making The Gold Rush, he had an idea of being trapped high up by monkeys or something, unable to get away. One of his colleagues, Henry Bergman, suggested maybe a circus tightrope, and that was a necessary spark to get the idea for this movie. Still, it's a small wonder that this movie was actually completed, given some of its problems. Now, partway through, Chaplin found that some of the film had been poorly processed, resulting in some retakes being necessary. He had trouble with the sets as a result of various problems including the weather, fire, losing filming locations due to construction, and just stuff being stolen from the sets. Of course, one of his biggest problems, though, was his very public divorce at the time with his wife at the time, Lita Gray, which also resulted in filming being delayed. Still, he did manage to finish the movie. Otherwise, why would we be here discussing it? And I am so glad he finished it. I enjoyed the movie very much, from start to finish. I still like Charlie Chaplin's antics as the tramp very much. The whole start with him being chased on the midway is fun and hilarious. Of course, the previously mentioned scene of him stuck on the tightrope with the monkeys climbing over him is equally fun, not to mention impressive since he learned the tightrope walk for this movie. And the movie makes you feel for him story-wise, especially since as a clown he only seems to be funny when he is not trying to be, which makes sense to a degree. Now, I have no trouble whatsoever in saying that at this moment, this movie is probably my favorite circus movie and one of the best that I have seen. So yes, I certainly recommend this one. Now, as I mentioned before, this movie was recently made available on Blu-ray and DVD by Criterion Collection. Their release makes use of a new 4K restoration of Chaplin's later 1969 version of the movie, which mainly includes a score and different opening credits with Chaplin himself singing over the credits. Now, I'll certainly say that this looks as good as I could hope for, and I have no trouble whatsoever recommending seeing the movie via this release. The movie itself is 1 hour and 13 minutes in length. Well, that should be all I have to say on this one, everybody, so thanks for listening, and I hope you'll keep tuning in for more.